I'm super glad you all liked my first devlog, as it's really rewarding to see that something I'm really passionate about also interests you guys. So here's another one, specifically focused on the problems and challenges while developing this game. As I mentioned before, two of the main challenges in the beginning were learning Unity simply and then developing art. For those two, I highly suggest checking out YouTube for a bunch of helpful Unity tutorials and checking out itch.io or the Unity Asset Store for a collection of great art assets where you can pay and support really talented artists, because I am not really a good artist. But as I learn more about game dev and design, the challenges begin to shift from simply getting familiar with tools to actually how to implement and build certain features. Also, as a side note, I live in Seattle, and Seattle is quite known for its coffee, so I love going to coffee shops just for a change of scenery when I'm working on stuff. So one of my recent hurdles was to develop a system of map generation that supported replayability. As a brief reminder from my first devlog, my game essentially features three main parts. First is the character creation quiz, where you're gonna answer a series of questions that will ultimately give you a character role to play for that campaign. Sort of in a similar sense to the quiz you take at the beginning of the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. If any of you have played those, fantastic games. Number two is the preparation period, where you get the next 24 hours of in-game time to get stronger and develop allies, to defend against the incoming invasion. Lastly, number three is the siege. After that 24 hours elapses, all of the characters you were not selected as from that initial character creation quiz will begin their individual conquests. So I really wanted to orient this game around replayability, and at this point, I'm not really too invested into developing any deep story or lore, because first, I just want the game to primarily just be fun, and then the story can sort of naturally evolve out of that. So since I'm not focusing on any extreme narrative content, the game has to be replayable. So one factor in that replayable feature, I already mentioned it, is that character creation quiz, since each character or archetype will have their own unique playstyle. But that's only one facet. I also want to make the world dynamic from run to run, similar to a lot of different roguelite games. Therefore, the natural inclination is to use some sort of procedural generation. But procedural generation can get tricky where the worlds don't feel natural or just have weird aspects to them, and it can sort of decrease the immersion that the player feels within the game. So I concluded that it's best to mix both algorithmically generated content and manual effort into sort of a curated procedural generation. And for this inspiration, we can look at a game like Spelunky. Also, Game Maker's Toolkit made a great analysis video of Spelunky, so if you're more interested in that, I highly suggest checking out that video, which will be in the description below. But in essence, Spelunky uses a combination of procedural generation and curation, where chunks of maps are designed by hand, but then procedurally placed together, giving each run a unique feeling whilst maintaining a natural feeling too. So in my game, the name is still to be determined, by the way, so I keep just referring it to as the game, my game, you know, whatever. But each player archetype or class will have a specific zone or kingdom that is theirs. And I decided to manually create these kingdoms, these starting zones, so that they feel and look more immersive. And eventually I can design multiple zones for each player class, and that way, even if you get the same class from a given run, your kingdom and starting zone will look different. Then I'll use procedural generation to create the nature between different player zones. This may sound confusing, but here is what I have implemented so far that will hopefully make things clearer. I started with a 3x3 grid where each tile is actually 65 by 65 units, so just a 65 by 65 block. This will also allow me to add player settings if they want a bigger or challenging map. But right now, I'm just designing the map for 4 players, so the player and 3 main enemy kingdoms. Each of these 65 by 65 tiles is labeled 1 through 9, going horizontally across, and each of the 4 corners can be one of the kingdoms. And this assignment is essentially just chosen randomly on game startup. Then the center tile will be a neutral town, and again, I will probably design several versions of the town and randomly select one for each run. Then the 4 tiles between the zones will be procedurally generated nature. This is very much a prototype and will likely change in the future, but I think it's a good first step to mix both curated map creation and procedural generation. The procedural generation I currently implemented follows a cellular automata algorithm, which can get kind of confusing, so I'm not going to go too deep into the actual code, but I altered it so that I could add a bunch more layers and natures on top of it with different parameters, which gives some interesting procedurally generated forests. But now every time I launch the game, I can get a different character or class. Right now I have the Undead Summoner, the Pirate, the Druid, and the Knight. I haven't finished the Knight's zone yet. My starting zone, depending on whatever character I get, is randomized to one of the 4 corners, as well as all my enemies. And now the nature surrounding each zone is procedurally generated, which I hope supports one of my main goals of making this game replayable so that you can hop in, play for 20 minutes, then come back tomorrow and it still feels fresh and fun. And it also leaves a lot of opportunity to add different elements to it, you know, adding random buildings within those procedurally generated nature maps, or treasures or monsters. So there's a lot of opportunity just to add different features to make this sort of algorithmically generated content feel more manually curated. That's mostly what I've accomplished from that last devlog, but some future challenges are definitely going to be designing the enemy AI, as I want them to sort of act like the enemies in the game Civilization, where they have their own motives and methods, but that will likely be an ongoing and iterative and difficult process. Do you have any suggestions or features or even resources I should look into, as I'm still only really like a month into game dev? Comment them down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Michael. We make college advice, career advice, tech, software engineering, computer science type videos. If any of that sounds interesting, consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video to help your boy out with the YouTube algorithm. We do bad British accents at the end of every video. Check out one of my past videos and my past self would thank you dearly, and check out one of my future videos. My future self would also thank you dearly. Comment down below if you want to see any other specific type of videos. Always looking for suggestions. That's all from me. Hopefully I see you in another one. Bye-bye.